Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Thank you for all the comments. I've had a load of comments in the last video about who you think I look like. The latest one is Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley is 80, by the way. I don't know how old you think I am. I'm going to tell you my age, just so, and then we won't talk about it again, okay? I am approximately 38. So, approximately is a unit of measurement that men use. For any women watching. Morning, Claire. Also got something in my eye. Yes, so you know when you do a sickie from work and you think, well, this is nice, and then you start to get a little bit bored and think, I'm going to get the tape measure out and start measuring things. You know what I'm talking about, boys. And then your wife gets home and you say to her, I've measured it and it's approximately 8 inches long. 5 inches isn't approximately 8 inches, is it? Anyway, I'm approximately 37 or 38, did I say? I can't remember. Guys, I had a couple of comments from two different subscribers. Oh, I hope you're subscribed anyway. And it was amazing. It was like the planets had aligned, and it was amazing. And I love it. I love it when things like this happen. And it's a bit like, do you ever think about how you met your partner? And if you hadn't gone to the pub, if you'd met her in a pub, if you hadn't gone to the pub that specific night and walked over to the bar at that specific time, you might have gone left and she might have gone right and you would never have met her. Sliding doors moment, yeah? I think about that a lot, actually. I find it fascinating. Just those very small, minute details that actually change people's lives. And I've got a friend who used to commute into London every day, and he used to get on at the very first stop, so the train was always empty, and he used to sit in the same seat for years and years and years. He sat in the same seat, and one day he was late for the train and he got on it sort of last, and someone was sitting in the seat that he usually sits in. So he went and sat in another seat, and sitting opposite him was his future wife. He started chatting to her, and yeah, they exchanged numbers and they got married. I mean, that is so weird, isn't it? I mean, that if that woman hadn't been sitting in that seat, in his seat, he would have never even seen her. I mean, they're divorced now. Unfortunately, she left him for a train driver. That's true. I don't think it was the same train driver as the train they were on, but ironic. Anyway, so let's talk about today's video. I'm not laughing about my mate. I mean, it's very sad, but it was funny when he told me that she'd left him for a train driver. Anyway, so I went down to Waitrose this morning, and before you have a go at me about shopping at Waitrose, Freddie Dobbs, I love Freddie, Freddie Dobbs gets an Uber to deliver him coffee when he's broken down on the side of the road. So you cannot have a go at me for shopping at Waitrose. It's the only place I can get the smoked salmon I like. So pulled up outside Waitrose, and next to me a guy was just pulling up too on his classic 350 in the Halcyon grey, which was my first classic 350 Ernie. I absolutely love that colour, and when I look at it I think, oh, I want another one in that colour. And obviously we started chatting, and he said to me that I think the Triumph T120 is the best looking modern classic there is. He said it's not only the best looking, but it's the best at everything. And he said, I sold my 2017 Triumph T120 to buy a brand new classic 350. He said, because I love the classic 350 so much. And he said, and although I think the classic 350 looks the part and sounds the part, he said, as an only bike, he said, I'm struggling a little bit because when I need to go on faster roads, he said, although it can do it, and I've said before, I've been on the motorway many times on Ernie, my classic 350, and Charlie, and it's okay, you can do it, but don't expect to do it at 70 miles an hour, because especially someone my height and weight, more appropriately, it's just not possible. But he's now thinking of keeping his classic 350 and buying another T120 Bonneville, because he said that he misses the extra torque. And I still think, and I said to him, I still think that the classic 350 is my number one bike. It's to me, it ticks all the boxes, with exception to torque, obviously, because it's only 20 brake horsepower. But it ticks all the other boxes for me, and it makes me feel incredible. But I totally get, as your only bike, if you're using it to do a lot of road riding or motorway riding, then it's probably not the most suitable bike for that. But looking wise, and the way it makes you feel, because we were talking about the character it has, it really, to me, there is no other bike. And maybe the T100 came a bit and almost as close to it, but not quite. For me, that classic 350 is at the top for me, and I will get another one, definitely, as you know. By the way, speaking of riding on motorways, I was stuck on the M25. I know you don't care, but I'm telling you anyway. For 7 hours last night. 7 hours. It usually takes me an hour. I was in the car, so if I was on the bike, it might have been a lot easier. But 7 hours for an hour journey, crazy. Anyway, let me spin the bike round. No, not spin the bike round. Let me spin the camera around, and I'll show you a couple of things. Well, guys, I've got the pannier back. Let me show you the damage. It's only minimal, really. I'm quite surprised. Can you see there? It's like sort of melted a little bit, and this. But I'm going to secure it properly to the pannier rail. Just got to show you my car. My friend came over and ceramic coated it. Look at it. Amazing. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get the pannier sorted, get it fitted properly. I'm really, so listening to you guys, I'm keeping that as it is. I got scared. I don't want to start taking it off. One of you guys said some of the paint came off and that you took yours off, and I don't want to start mucking about with it. I've ordered some Trip Machine brown grips. I think that will look good. And what else? So I'm thinking of getting another fly screen. I think I've mentioned this before as well. And also I'm thinking of getting bar end mirrors, the Triumph ones. And then obviously the badge, and then the pillion grab rail. All of these things will come in the weeks to follow, so bear with me. But I think it looks really classic. But I do miss my classic 350. Let me just turn the camera around because I need to speak to you about something else. Yeah, I realised I started rambling, drivel, and forgot to tell you the whole reason behind my story about the sliding doors moment and stuff. So I had 2 emails from 2 of you guys within 24 hours. Okay, the first email was a guy who said, I've just recently started watching your channel and talking about the T120, and at the very end he said, I used to own your bike. So I sent him a message back saying, what, my actual bike, the T120? He said, yeah, I bought it in 2019. He did 7,000, I don't know how many miles he did in it actually, but he went to France. He went everywhere on this bike. He had no problems with it. He never rode it in the rain unless he got caught in the rain. And that was such a relief, and an amazing thing, isn't it? I mean, the internet is amazing. The fact that he was the owner of that bike and he's come on my channel and told me, that's great. So that was one. The second one was even weirder. A guy sent me a message saying, oh, love your bike, and I own it now. And he was talking about my very, very first videos that I did on YouTube was when I bought the grey and black Suzuki V-Strom 1050, and he now owns that. And it's only still, I mean, it's still got low mileage, and it looks amazing. He sent me some pictures. I will put them on my wall when I print some pictures out. But amazing. So within 24 hours, I had the guy contact me about my first bike on YouTube 3 years ago, maybe over 3 years, and the guy who owned my latest bike on YouTube, all within 24 hours. It's weird, isn't it, guys? Anyway, I'm glad you're both. I'm glad you're enjoying the V-Strom. That was one of my favourite V-Strom. I think it might have been my favourite V-Strom out of all of the 3 I owned. There was something about that bike, even though it wasn't the XT. It was such an amazing bike. It had so much kit on it that it really looked the part. And the number plate, I'll tell you what, I named that bike Boris, as in Boris Becker, the German tennis player, and this will really go to Bobby, who owns the bike now, but that was because of the number plate Bobby. So I'm sure you know what I mean. And the guy who used to own the T120, that he was called Dave. So I hope you both stay subscribed to my channel. And it was so interesting to hear from you both. And yeah, it made my day. So guys, I have definitely rambled. It's 10 minutes. And I will chat to you next week when I start getting bits and pieces for the bike to add. Have a great weekend and ride safe.